Hello everybody and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we got a pretty good lineup for you guys. I think we have 4 first appearances, 2 honorable mentions, so 6 titles on to go through. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week ending January 10th, 2025. First up from Marvel Comics, all new Venom number 2. This features the first team appearance of the Symbiote Squad. Now, we typically always recommend picking up the first appearance of new characters or new teams in Marvel titles. This is also a Venom title. This is part of the Spider-Man universe. And like I always mention to you guys, Venom, Spider-Man, anytime they introduce new characters or new teams into that universe, these are books you typically want to pick up at the cover price. You know, the Spider-Man franchise, probably one of the most heavily collected franchises for Marvel Comics. So you typically want to pick up any first appearances. Now, with all that being said, this here is the first team appearance of the Symbiote Squad. It's really hard to say right now how important that will be in the future. You know, Marvel will really have to do something spectacular with this team they're introducing, the Symbiote Squad, to make collectors actually want to hold on to this first appearance. Now, if this issue doesn't introduce specific characters that are part of the Symbiote Squad, this one here may be a little more speculative. If specific characters are introduced, and this is the first appearance of those characters, then this one here will definitely be worth picking up. If this is just the first appearance of this team, like I said, definitely going to be speculative. So grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Marvel Comics, Daredevil Unleash Hell Red Band number 1. This features the first appearance of Muse 2. Now this is a 5-issue limited series that features Murdock and Elektra tracking down a killer. Now this is definitely a spin-off of the Daredevil title, but you know, Daredevil, incredibly popular franchise, still has a huge following of fans on the small screen, so the Daredevil franchise is definitely heavily collected and there is a huge fan base for the Daredevil franchise. So this one here, in our opinion, is probably worth picking up. Marvel is pushing Daredevil onto the screen, whether small screen or big screen, so there is a chance they will be pulling characters from the comics onto the screen. You definitely don't want to miss out on the first appearance in these comics. These characters hit the screen, collectors are definitely going to race back and try to find the first appearance. So this is one we do think you should pick up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. Next up from Marvel Comics, Magic number 1. This features the first appearance of Demon Crow, the villain of the series. Now this here is not only the premiere issue of this title series, but they also introduced the villain of the entire series. So in our opinion, this one here, definitely worth picking up for your collection. There's definitely going to be a lot of the fans of this art style. I don't really know much about the particular story, but the art style is going to be attractive to a lot of fans and collectors. This is also the premiere issue, like I said, and the first appearance of the villain of the entire series. So in our opinion, this here has a lot going for it. Probably one you want to own at the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one here for your collection. And finally from Marvel Comics, New Champions number 1. This features the first team appearance of the New Champions, formerly the Assembly. This also features the first team appearance of the Cult of Hela. This also features a possible first appearance of Magnetrix and Monty, mentioned in issue number 2. Not only that, but this here is also the premiere issue of this New Champions title series. The fact that this introduces 2 teams and a possible appearance of 2 new characters, this is one you probably want to pick up at the cover price. Typically, when there's multiple first appearances in an issue, and it is also a premiere issue of a new series, these are definitely worth owning. Like I said, at the cover price, you can't really go wrong on these. If they go nowhere, you're out a couple dollars. You know, but if Marvel Disney pick up any of these characters for the screen, get a lot more eyes on them, this is definitely going to be a hot book. One you definitely want to own at the cover price. Another one we think you should pick up for your collection, go ahead and grab this one. And now for the honorable mentions. From Image Comics, The Lucky Devils number 1. This is a tale of 2 rebellious demons who decide to start a revolution in hell, and the 2 humans they're going to manipulate to do it. Now this is from the same creators that created 8 Billion Genies, and that title series has been picked up in option and is already in production for a feature film. So the fact that the creators of this series, The Lucky Devils, already has a title in production, this is one we do think you should definitely pick up. Now typically once you already have a foot in Hollywood, those studios will come back and look at everything you create, and this here, The Lucky Devils, this, in our opinion, has a great potential to be picked up an option, mainly because 8 Billion Genies has already gone into production. So this one here, one we do think you should pick up for your collection, it will be speculative because, like I said, you are specking on this hitting the screen, becoming a big deal, collectors racing back to the secondary market to find this issue. But for $3 or $4, definitely worth the spec in our opinion. Go ahead and grab this one. And finally from Dark Horse, Those Not Afraid number 1. 2 serial killers discover they are within reach of the state record for kills and enter a terrible competition to see who gets there first. Now this one here sounds like it could easily lend itself to a small screen and big screen project, and you know Dark Horse has had a lot of their titles pick up an option in the past. This here is another serial killer story. Seemed like there's been a trend of that recently. Seemed like this here is about the 3rd or 4th serial killer title we've mentioned over the past 3 or 4 weeks. But this one here, like I said, does sound like it can lend itself easily to the screen. Great option potential in our opinion, but definitely speculative. So grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. So there you have the 6 titles we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.